to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Gigi. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am so happy today. I'm so happy because I managed to get this time to be able to sit here and talk to you. So let's get right into it. So I'm going to be talking about finding yourself in a foreign land or finding yourself in a foreign place. Okay, you can put it whatever way you want. So there are so many people who are moving away from their home. You find yourself moving out. You find yourself moving away from home, going to find maybe for greener pastures. So some of you already know I'm originally from Zimbabwe, grew up in Zimbabwe. My childhood, everything is in Zimbabwe. And then one morning after I finished college, because employment rate is very low, there are no jobs, there's nothing that we can do. I found myself coming to the UAE. So now I've been living in UAE for the past 6 years, which is now even now home for me more than the place that I came from. You know what I mean? Because now I have found myself in a foreign land. I've created a culture for myself. I've created an environment for myself which I'm more comfortable. So I find myself sometimes when I go back home for vacation, I really don't know what to do. When I go back to Zim for vacation, I don't know what to do with Wu because the people that I left behind 6 years ago, they are on another stage of life. And even if you try to keep connecting to them, you're all on a different aspect of life. You're doing things really differently. So it becomes very difficult. And distance also, if relationships are not that strong, distance can be a barrier to a lot of things. We'll get into that later into the video. But right now, let's get into it. So, we're going to be talking about the emotional aspect of moving abroad. You're thinking of moving home, you think it's easy, or you're hesitating to go and start over your life. Trust me, it's not going to be easy because emotionally, you need to be ready, but you can never be ready. Okay, there's something that people need to talk about, which is culture shock. So you get to a country, for example, I'm coming from Zimbabwe. I come from Zimbabwe, right? It's a whole different culture. We do things differently. I know people who live 10 houses away from my home. I know everyone by name. I know the keys. I know the families around and everything. Then you move to a place like UAE. In the UAE, you live in the same compound, you live in the same flat, but you don't even know your neighbor's name. I've stayed on the same flat that I live for the past 3 years. I've never seen my neighbor. Why? Because here people are always working. If you're not working, you are in your house. If you're not in your house, you're working. Most of these times people don't have, if you don't make friends at work or if you don't make colleagues at work, it's very difficult for you to be able to make friends. So emotionally, you end up thinking because you're coming from a setup where you are coming from a family. You're coming from a family setup, and maybe you're coming here and then you're starting to live by yourself. Living by yourself in a sense where you are very far away. Maybe the time zone is different. You're 6 hours different from people. And even if you try to stay connected with people back home, they also have things to do. So you need to figure out how to emotionally support yourself, how to fit yourself in the culture of the country that you are. So this is a surprise to many people. When I moved from Zimbabwe, I knew that there was a Muslim religion and there was Hinduism just through by studying, but I never had met people like that. I never had been around people who are Muslim in my life. So by the time I came here, everyone was Muslim, and most of them they have never met Christians. So in the end of the day, you go to church on a Sunday, you spend 2 hours, and then you go home. This is a Catholic church. You go to church on a Sunday, and then 2 hours back, you're home. And sometimes you're not even able to speak to people because you don't know them. And you really need to be a social person for you to be able to approach some of the people. Some of us are not really that much social. So you find it very hard. You need to be an extrovert for you to be able to make these connections, for you to be able to talk to these people. So at the end of the day, you get to a place and you start feeling out of place, and really you are out of place because this is not your home. You're just arriving. Okay, what you need to do is to build yourself a support network, or build yourself a friendship, or build yourself a community, or join a community that is already existing. Right, you get my point. So you are isolated. Maybe you're looking for a job, you're stressed, you're trying to throw CVs here and there, you don't know how things are going, you're trying to find out the currency of the country, you're trying to find out all those things that you're trying to find out. You have to be asking people, but you're asking these people to strangers. You don't have those people that you had back home that would support you in everything that you do. So this is the difference that it makes, and it emotionally will drain you. And you need to be emotionally stronger for you to be able to succeed on these things. So what you need to do is understanding that I am an expat. I came here for one goal, which is looking for greener pastures. But this is also going to be my home for the next however years I'm going to be living here. So what I need to do is make the most out of it. Create your own home, create your own environment, create your own happiness. I know some of us are very dependent on happiness on the people that we are surrounding or in the past, but I'm not saying let go of your past. I'm saying let your past be a part of you if you want it to, but focus on the future and focus on the now, focus on whatever that is on the ground for you. So when you build yourself a support network, it's going to be very difficult. Remember, there is language barrier, culture barrier, beliefs barrier. Maybe you might not find somebody or some people who understands you the way your other friends or your other people would understand you. You get my point? But you need to be able to be open to change. Because once you're open to change, you will see life can change. Life can take a huge turn for you. Because this is not going to be the same place that you were. This is not the same country. This is not the same home that you had. This is something new. You get my point? So once you open for change, you are open for change, be open to meet people, be sociable. You need to create this environment for yourself so that you won't be able to suffer from depression. I've seen a lot of people post on like Facebook, on TikTok, people posting, hey, I am new, like, sorry, I am new in the community and I am looking for friends. It's fine to look for friends because you have to look for people. You need to have people to work to talk to. We are human beings and we need to have social activities for us to be functioning. You cannot be 100% just working and sleeping. You will end up being depressed. You start overthinking. And unfortunately, because of these situations, number one, if you're working abroad, most of the time you're working very difficult or very hard. You're stressed, work is stressful and everything. It's very difficult to make friends at work, but you can also make them. But work can be stressful. You're working long hours. You go home, you can't even bring yourself to cook for yourself sometimes because it's just you and it's very boring to cook for food that you eat by yourself. So the best thing that you can do for yourself is to create your own support network and also stay connected at home. It's very sad that when we move abroad, because of our working hours and because of things that are beyond our control, we are not able to maintain relationships that we had before. Or maybe because, when you move away from a place for such a long time, the people that you were connected with really don't know what's going on in your life. Or maybe they are behind you. So the conversations that you used to have together that used to make sense during the time, maybe they don't make sense now. The connection of things that you used to do together that kept you together, maybe they are not valuable anymore. But how do we keep those relationships connected? You cannot keep everyone, but you can keep a few. You know, so you will start suffering from loss of connections from people, loss of friendships, you're not able to be on the phone all the time. And it goes back to when families are celebrating, maybe you're not able to go back home for weddings, for birthdays, for all those small celebrations that happen. You see the pictures in your home, you're in the blanket. You're sitting at home in the blanket because you don't have anything to do and you're just mourning and just sobbing. Girl, get up, get up, get up. Okay? Find something to do for yourself, make yourself happy. Yes, we have to connect with people back home. Keep connected. It's very important because this is your family, this are your people, but you also need to get yourself out of that room. Okay? Get yourself out of that room. Stop scrolling on social media. Go out, sit in a restaurant, buy a cocktail for yourself. You're working so hard to be just sending money home and not do anything for yourself and not take care of yourself. Because at the end of the day, you work for 24 hours, go home tired, stranded, and you don't even know what to do with yourself because you're so exhausted and you're not able to spend your money. You're not able to look after yourself. Okay. So take this time when you are alone to discover new aspects of yourself. Okay. Adapt to new social norms. It's fine. There are so many things you can do in that environment that you are. Don't be limited to the walls in your house. Go out. If you've never seen the mall before, go to the mall, go in the shop, see how the perfumes look like. Smell those perfumes. Ask about this thing, the smallest thing that you don't know. When you start asking questions, when you start making conversations with people, this is the only way you can be able to connect with people. You know, you will be able to connect with people because of that. This can be a journey of self discovery for you. You really start to sit down, ask yourself the positive side of you. Say things that you never thought you knew and you will be able to do for yourself. You will be able to do it. Why? Because you are giving yourself some time to discover more things about you, make new friends. It's okay to make new friends sometimes. It's okay to connect with other people. It's okay to connect with other race. Never feel out of place because of your skin tone, because you are where you are supposed to be in life. You came from home so that you can live for greener pastures. Greener pastures is not only financial freedom, it's also emotional freedom. You get my point. You need to have emotional and social freedom for yourself, for you to be able to move forward, for you to be productive in everything that you do. You need to have your own freedom. And who can create that freedom for you? It's only you. You can only do this for yourself. I don't care if you're feeling sad. I don't care if you feel like you cannot do it. I don't care if you're in an all white neighborhood. I don't care if you're in an all Asian neighborhood. I don't care if you're in West African neighborhood. Just find yourself something to do. Learn to be happy with your own company if you cannot make friends. Not everybody can make friends, but you can also be happy with your own self. Like you can be you and you can be by yourself and still enjoy. Have you seen people who solo travels? Because they are searching and they're finding their own happiness. So search and find your own happiness. Don't wait for someone to come and tell you to move. No, 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 don't do that to yourself. Do not do that to yourself. You deserve to be happy. You deserve a lot of love. And who else can give you more love than yourself? If you don't love yourself, then who's gonna love you more? You know, this is one thing that my mom always used to tell me. You need to be able to learn to love yourself. Sorry. You need to be able to learn to love yourself. You need to be able to learn to make yourself happy. Be your own happiness and then the rest will follow. If you enter in a restaurant and you're smiling, all those waiters will just smile at you back. That's how you make connections. Don't be and you think everybody's gonna people will run. Learn to smile. Smile, 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 smile. Say hello, say hi to everybody that you see because this is not home. Those people that you left behind, they might not be able to come to you. So create this environment for yourself. Okay? So without this, with all this that I've said, moving abroad is good. You just need to make sure that you create your own happiness. You create your own home. Make the best of the situation or the environment that you are. It might be hard, it might be daunting, it might be lonely, it might be miserable, but only you can take yourself out of that place. Let's be happy. We are sacrificing a lot to be sad. We are sacrificing a lot to be outside of our comfort zone and just to be sad and cry every day. Stop crying, start moving, and make action. Until next time, thank you for being here. Love you all. Bye.